So a decrease in energy expenditure could be due to having a 9 to 5 desk job, or because you've got older and cannot keep performing these activities or sports you used to. Therefore, the person is not burning as many calories from exercising, but are still eating the same amount of food, so they're still consuming the same amount of calories as they used to when they had a higher BMI. This can then cause obesity with old age, which can prevent you from performing physical activity as much. So as people get older, their core body temperature drops. This will therefore prevent them from exercising in extremely hot or cold places, as it will take a lot more effort for their body temperature to meet the demands of the environment. There is also a larger delay in sweat glands cooling the body, as the body temperature is a lot lower, therefore it needs to be a very warm environment for them to actually sweat. So because their body temperature starts at a much lower rate, they need to be in a really hot climate that would then increase their body temperature so much that they actually need to sweat. So therefore they don't use the sweat glands as much. So health and performance. So living a functional lifestyle may be lost with old age. This could be due to not being able to walk properly, becoming out of breath very quickly, or suffering from a heart disease, for example. This could potentially stop a person from being able to do everyday things such as walking to the shop, getting themselves dressed, or performing small amounts of exercise. Motor skills are also challenged with old age. For example, it can take an elderly person uh, a longer time to respond to things that have been said and to concentrate on a certain thing. This is common in old people uh, as they cannot process the information given to them at the rate, for example, a 15-year-old can. So therefore there might be like a pause response when you're speaking to them, or a pause response when they go to make a movement. So yeah, this could definitely not help their physical performance, because if someone's telling them to do something and it takes them a while to then realise, then this could obviously cause an injury or something. Vision and hearing can be obscured due to age. This can cause an old person to need like hearing aids and glasses, which can be an inconvenience for some people. Also, wearing glasses and hearing aids can reduce the amount of physical activity, as you may need to see perfectly to do different sports. So, like swimming, you might need goggles, and then if you can't see with the goggles on, then it's pretty pointless because you won't see where you're going, and old people they might not be very good at swimming, and then they might crash into different people. Also, hearing aids and water probably don't mix very well, so you'd have to take them out, and then you won't be able to hear. And then, obviously, you can't hear very well underwater already, so that would make hearing very difficult. Coordination and balance can also be obscured, as uh, proprioceptors cannot function as quickly. This could mean you fall over or walk into things as you get older. So the proprioceptors are what send reports to the brain of how you're standing up, or a movement you want to make, or if you're walking towards something, if you need to move out of the way to go around something. So proprioceptors detect this, and therefore if they don't function as well and they don't fire as quickly due to the nerve impulses not sending as fast, then it could obviously cause an injury. Recovery times can be prolonged with age. One factor contributing to this is the fact that protein cannot be processed as well, meaning the protein is a waste product, as they can't process it. So obviously then it's not used to help aid recovery of muscles and growth. Metabolic rate also decreases, which will mean the athlete will put on weight faster if they do not eat less. Glycogen stores are also lower when someone's older, which means athletes won't have the energy to perform certain tasks, even basic everyday tasks like getting out of bed and walking down the stairs, because their stores might be so low, or they might not be able to. So it also takes longer to then refuel the stores. So therefore, smaller stores which take longer to refuel is a combination which will be a big factor in an elderly person not being able to exercise. So if an elderly person gets out of bed, walks down the stairs, and then uses up their glycogen stores there, and they take so long to replenish, then obviously they won't then be able to. If they had a day where they went and did Zumba in the morning or yoga or something for old people, and they've already used up their glycogen energy stores, getting out of bed and walking downstairs, and they won't be able to do it because they literally won't have the energy, or it won't be able to be refueled in time. During anaerobic exercise, elderly people are at more risk of breaking bones and injuring themselves, uh, as their bodies cannot sustain the vast amounts of strain and the powerful movements of anaerobic exercises. There's also a loss of muscle mass due to the deterioration, which can mean everyday activities are a lot harder, such as picking objects up and moving around. Reaction time can also increase due to the myelinated sheath being stretched out. This therefore means that nerve impulses sent take long to be processed, as they have to travel along a longer myelinated sheath. Aerobic exercise is sometimes not able to be done in old age due to the elderly not being able to then perform certain movements, or not be able to recover from exercise as their body systems are not responsive enough. And arteriosclerosis is a disease which increases blood pressure. Therefore, during exercise, blood pressure increases even more, and this could obviously cause blood pressure to be too high. If it's already high when you're at rest, and then you start exercising, and it increases as well. In one way, there is no preventing some of the things spoken about in this presentation from happening with age. Is because if you do lots of exercise throughout your life, you're always really fit and healthy, and you're always playing like extreme sports, and you play football throughout your whole life until your 40s, and do lots of weightlifting, then you can wear out your body systems in different parts of your body. So by the time you are older, you're already your body system will already be starting to shut down, and be at risk of the things we've spoken about in this presentation. If you do not do exercise, then the body systems won't be used enough, and will deteriorate as well, as the body will think, oh, they're not using them, so they don't get like stimulated and fired up. Therefore, you need to find like somewhere in the middle where you do exercise enough to stimulate the different parts of the body, but not too much to the fact you wear everything out and you're knackered by the time you're 50. But you've got to still use them, so therefore you need to find that fine line between enough and too much.